Hello, Grant Davis here. Hey, wow, August 27th. I guess the stock market took a little beating again yesterday. At least my stocks did. But hey, a great day here at GDI Insurance, and here's why. Professional salesmanship. Now I want to talk to you about what it means to be a salesman first. I always want to do that, and then I want to talk to you about a little fix in salesmanship because I've had a lot of questions about some things, and how can I say today is a great day at GDI Insurance when I just lost more money on the stock market. Well, here's the deal. Salesmanship to me simply means this, is that I go meet people. And when I meet people, and I'm going to pick on a contractor I met the other day that stopped by my office because his other broker couldn't help him figure out how to get the right insurance for a contract he was doing. And they're relatives. And so anyway, I said, he said, why don't you just quote my insurance? And I said, well, really, that'll kind of hurt your relationship with your family. And he goes, yeah, but I got to get this done. And I said, well, how about this? Why don't I just help you by helping them? And he says, what do you mean? I said, well, I know exactly what you need. I know the company. So I gave him the name and number of the company. Here's the underwriter. Give him a call. Give that to your broker down the street and get it taken care of. He goes, why would you do that? And I said, well, here's the thing is you're my client now. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, did I help you? And he goes, well, yeah, you helped me a lot. I just can't believe it. And I said, well, that's what it means to be a client to me is you got a problem and I help you. You're now my client. And he goes, well, that doesn't seem really fair. And I said, well, really it is fair if you think about it, because next time someone ever asks you about insurance, who are you going to call? Who are you going to tell them to call? Well, you, he said. And I said, well, yeah, because I just helped you. And I get it. I have family. I would be upset if they left me too. And why cause a problem when I could just fix it that quick? It was like a 45-second fix. That is a sale to me. Okay, now that's not a sale that makes any money, of course, because I work on commissions, but you know what? That's a sale. And I believe in my heart that he will refer some business to us some point in the future. I might even be his broker when it's not so family messy for him. And he's a really nice guy, and I think I helped him. So if that's what a sale is, great. But here's why it's a great day at GDI is next week I got 13 appointments with new people. And because I keep track of my numbers, and this is what I'm talking to you about, in sales 31 years, and for a while, I didn't keep track of my numbers. Of course, when you start, you have to. But then after a while, well, I'm too good to keep track of my numbers. But you know what? The economy's not that great. And a lot of us in sales are thinking, oh, my goodness, what are we going to do? But let me ask you this. Would you be afraid if you knew that the last 10 times you saw somebody, you sold your product or service 9 out of those 10 times? You were able to help them with your product or service 9 out of 10 times. Then let me go farther back and say, what if you were keeping those records for a while and you knew out of the last 1,000 times you saw somebody, 920 times you were able to help those people with your product and service. And then you took the average, these are the numbers I want you to keep, and then you took the average of what the revenue was each time you helped all those 920 people. Here's how much total you make, divide it by 920, that's what the average is per person that you help. So since I know that next week, 92% of the people I meet with, I'm going to be able to help with my product and service. The other 8%, I'm going to do whatever I can to help so that way they get value for the time that they're going to give me just to say thank you, because I don't know about you, but I can't stand to meet with salespeople. Please, if you are one, no offense, but just know I don't want to meet with you. You make it hard on me, and I'm sure I'm making it hard on other people. So for me, I always try to leave a gift, even if I can't help them. Just little tidbits here. Maybe an illness and injury prevention program or an employee manual or just some little, hey, thank you for your time, and I just wanted to make it valuable to you, even if I can't help you with my product or service, right? Anyway, back to the numbers. I get off track. If you get in these numbers and you have those numbers, and next week you say, okay, well, gee, I got 3 appointments, and you're going to sell 90%, well, that's not very good, right? So your problem then, because you're keeping track of numbers, is you're not doing a very good job with your marketing and feeding your pipeline, right? If, on the other hand, you have 13 appointments like I do and your closing ratio is 20%, you probably don't have good proposals and presentations and good sales scripting. There's something else wrong. See, a bad plan is better than no plan, and the reason for that is because when I got a plan written down and something's going right or wrong, and this is Anthony Robbins for you, by the way. Yeah, still a fan after all these years. In 1990-ish, early 1990s, I have never failed to meet a goal that I have set since then because I learned how to do it the right way from Anthony Robbins. So now that I know how to do it, I can just say, okay, here's my production goal, self-imposed, 31 years, and no one's telling me what I got to sell. I set my goals. Here's what I want to be, by the way, which is much higher than anyone would impose on anybody. But anyway, this is what I'm going to do. But I always hit my goals because I know my numbers. So if you don't know your numbers, this is a simple fix to becoming a professional salesperson. And a professional salesperson, again, is somebody that learns what a client needs and helps them with whatever resources they have. Sometimes it's your product and service, and sometimes you make a commission, but you always make a friend and you always help somebody. That's what a professional salesperson is to me. I always got to define this because, you say, oh, I'm an insurance broker. Well, all that means to you is whatever that means to you. So I always want to say, well, to me, an insurance broker means this. To me, a professional salesperson, no matter what your product or service is, means that you're helping. You're always helping. And we organize in marketing. You figure out, okay, I've got to help, but I also got to get paid so I can eat, right? So you take a list of people that you have a high probability of helping, demographics, with your product or service. But when you go out there, what you go out there to do is simply help with whatever the problem is, knowing that probably 80-90% of the time your product or service is probably going to come into play to help the people you're meeting with. That starts all the way with your marketing. Anyway, so remember this, and always remember, never forget, marketing starts a conversation that feeds suspects to your sales system. Most of you don't have a system. You got to have a sales system. Sales system first filters into current prospects or a future prospect or not a prospect. Most salespeople, when I find out they got a bad closing ratio, it's because everyone that calls them is a prospect. They miss the filter step. You don't try to sell whatever your product is. I don't try to sell insurance to everyone that calls me. I try to find out what they need and what I can help them with. And then I determine, can I help them now within my product, or should I refer them to somebody else, or can I never help them? I filter them. Then what they do is I convert from suspects to prospects, prospects to clients. Clients then go to my service system, just like my sales system. What does it mean to be a client? What do we do? Well, we do the OSHA compliance. We do the HR pieces. We do all of these things, the fleet safety policies. We do everything we can for our clients to help them reduce the number and size of claims that they have, and then help them buy their insurance, because we're a broker. That's what it means to be an insurance broker to me, is we want to help you buy your insurance. We got hundreds of companies to choose from. I don't know about hundreds, but we got at least 100 of them. I don't know. I can't keep track. We got so darn many of them. I got about half of them on the web page. I got about another 4 pages I could put up, I think, if I started really listing them all. But we got enough companies where we don't even worry about that. What we worry about is trying to help them. My point is you know your product or service. I know mine. But when you define what your service standard is, and you know, okay, we're going to put this plan together to help the client, and then you have a presentation and proposal that feeds into that plan, then you back into your marketing. That's how you do this. So when I look down the road and I said I have 13 appointments next week, I know exactly how much revenue those 13 appointments will generate for us, because I know for the last 1,000 times how many I closed and what the closing ratio is. Matter of fact, it's a lot of fun when you do this. If you do it the right way, I know every time I pick up the phone, I know how much that's worth. I know every time I hit a button on my phone, how much that's worth on average. That one I had to average in later, because I thought, well, that's nice how many phone calls, that's how much the phone call's worth. Well, wait a minute, there's 7 digits in that phone number. How much is each digit worth, and how much is each second of my day worth? How much is yours worth? If you don't know those things in sales, that's why you're afraid. You're afraid because the economy's changed and you don't know what to do about it. In '07, when the economy tanked, I sat there and looked and I said, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Just like everyone else did. And then I said, well, wait a second. I know that if I have this many appointments, that this is what we're going to do, and this is our retention, how much our clients stay with us. So all I needed to do was bump up my number of appointments by about 30%, and we'll be fine. This is 2010, we're fine. No big deal. But if you're in sales and you don't know those numbers, it's a very big deal, and you should be afraid because you don't know what to do. Anyway, the Habitual Salesman site, it's a free site. It's all on the free site. Don't worry about membership or any of that. You'll see some of that. But right on the free site, know your numbers. Take a look at that little thing I have. Download the numbers and get them dialed into that. And I promise that'll help you in your sales profession. Hey, thanks a lot, and I hope this helped. Thanks.